Welcome to Showtime Sports Podcast with your host, Melvin Shows and Frank Salazar Jr. Victoria's exclusive podcast.
The worst defense in the NFL may have gotten worse.
Well, Mike McCarthy said that that's his big thing in the offseason is actually working on the defense. But have we? I think we only seen. I kind of jotted it down. I think you had a couple of guys that they signed.
Yeah, Keanu O'Neal.
The Patriots, on the other hand, the Patriots, dude, have a squad for Cam Newton.
Yeah, they signed Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Two free agency tight ends, man. That's going to be something to see right there with Cam Newton running that offense. You know, it kind of reminds me of how he had in Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The offense he had in Carolina, that power run with the two tight ends.
Dude, and they signed 9 players, spent $240 million. Like,
yeah.
Bill Belichick is kind of, I guess he's going to try to prove that, hey, that first season was kind of, they didn't really have anybody, after Tom Brady left. So I think Belichick and Kraft are going to try and prove that, hey, we don't need Tom Brady. I think they might need Tom Brady in the AFC.
Yeah.
But,
well, a couple free agents that are still out there, defensive players. You got Richard Sherman, that's a notable name still out there. Rashad Breeland, the ex-Chief. You got Nicole Roby-Coleman, he's out there. And Garyon Conley, the ex-Texan, he's still available out there in free agency. So, I mean, teams can still
even the Bears were
look to
looking
the vets.
at Sherman.
Were they? Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, to get that guy's experience. And he stay healthy and stuff in his later years.
Oh, yeah.
That has to be seen with the guy. I mean, he's a leader on and off the field.
Nobody wants to throw to his side for sure.
Yeah. And then another one, Xavier Woods, the ex-Cowboy, he went to the Vikings. Hurt to see him go. Galladay, he signs a big deal with the Giants, 4 years,
dude,
$72 million with the Giants. So
I was
they've got their guy.
Hoping that the Bears were going to pick him up because they did pick up Desmond Trufant.
And then y'all ended up, you tagged Allen Robinson, so he'll be intact for this season at least.
Yeah, I think the franchise tag, man, just sign the contract. You don't have to tag nobody. Just sign a contract for the guy. I mean, the franchise tag, it works for some people, but like Robinson, he doesn't really care for it.
Yeah,
so.
No, and it just all it does is makes these players salty. They get tagged and they get. Well, I mean, especially after you see what happened with Dak last year, he signs a franchise tag, and then his whole future went up in the air. Like didn't know what was going to happen. And Robinson's in the same boat now. He signs that franchise tag. Yeah, it's good money, but I mean, they just chew you up and spit you out, man, if you get hurt. And then we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the big trade that happened. A trade that Steve Young called life-changing. He literally called it that. So the Dolphins traded their number 3 pick overall this year to the Niners. So, I mean, I guess that just means Jimmy G isn't the answer after all.
Well, see, that Jimmy G said, actually, the Bears were looking at Jimmy G, too, as another...
Yeah. But I think Jimmy G will be the bridge quarterback now, though, because if you sign Justin Fields, or Zach Wilson, I don't think they're ready to start yet. Personally, I mean, you can throw them out there, but I mean, I would say do something similar to what the Chiefs did. Alex Smith started, Pat Mahomes sat for a year. I think the same thing should be true with the Niners. I think the Niners should do that. Let Jimmy G start this year, finish it out, and whoever they draft, because they're going to draft a quarterback at 3.
Oh yeah,
has to be. You don't make a trade like that and give up. Let's see what they gave up. I'll tell you right here. The Dolphins get the 12th overall pick this year. A 3rd round pick and a 1st round pick in 22 and 2023. That was a mouthful, but yeah. So, I mean, Dolphins got to haul themselves, and they're knocking on the door.
Oh yeah, they should have had the playoff.
Yeah, so I think it's a win-win here for both teams. I think the Dolphins got a little more, but Niners really want a quarterback. Yeah, apparently, Jimmy G just ain't the answer. Hate to say, though, because, I mean, they were just in the Super Bowl, but Jimmy G might have cost them that Super Bowl, too, at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, the last, 7 years, they've had a couple of Super Bowl appearances with, Kaepernick and then...
Yeah.
So...
so now they're...
I don't want to talk about Bears too much, but, Andy Dalton, they signed Andy Dalton from the Cowboys. And automatically, they said there was going to be no quarterback competition between him and Nick Foles. We are naming Andy Dalton as our starter.
The motherfucking Red Rifle. Starting for the Bears, man. How are you really feeling about that?
I mean, I watched him in TCU, man. He was a good quarterback in college, and when he went to Cincinnati, he didn't really have nobody in Cincinnati.
He was damn good with Cincy, though, man. He didn't have the numbers.
Yeah, he didn't have an offensive line, really.
He had AJ Green.
But he had AJ Green.
Yeah. I thought Andy was a beast in Cincinnati. I mean, they always make the playoffs and then got knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
He was a playoff quarterback.
No playoff wins, but he did take them to the playoffs a few times.
Consistently won 10, 11 games. They were.
Yeah, so I'm happy about him as opposed to Nick Foles. Nick Foles kind of fell flat on his face last year. So
Yeah.
And everybody, listening to all the Chicago Bears talk with the groups that I'm in. Nick Foles didn't get a chance. What are you talking about? Were you blind?
Yeah.
Not watching those games when he played 6 weeks in a row and only won one game? I'm like, come on, dude. He had his chance. He had the same offense that Mitch had. The only thing that Foles didn't have, he wasn't a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
So, obviously Dalton's not a mobile quarterback either, but he can run faster than Nick Foles. So, I'm actually happy about it, man.
Yeah. No, I would be too. When he came to the Cowboys, man, it was real. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I was a fan of it. I like Andy Dalton. I thought he did fine. I mean, I know the Cowboys had a bad year last year, but that really wasn't because of the offense. We had a historically bad defense. So I think you guys are in good hands with Andy Dalton. I really believe that. I like Andy. On and off the field, man. That guy's a star, man. He's good.
Yeah, the Bears, they did sign a bunch of offensive guys and defensive guys too. So, But the big thing is, are they going to drop a pick like they did when they picked up Mitchell Trubisky and go to a lower pick and pick up?
Trade down.
Yeah, trade down, and they're already looking at Mac Jones. So
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean that could be a whole show itself, man. The NFL draft, that's right around the corner, bro. So
I think we'll try and
definitely we'll do a special on that one. Maybe we'll off schedule it, maybe sometime during a week or something. We'll plan that out. Yep.
What about
shout out to all our listeners, man. Tuning in and giving us the feedback and helping us grow this show. We're learning as we go, but we hope y'all stick around and shoot, man. You got a big interview next month.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to be off.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a gig and stuff, but I don't know, maybe I can FaceTime in or whatever just to give a little shout out. Yeah, just make a little cameo. Yeah, something like that. I actually have a gig, but he's got an interview with Mr. Supermex.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, man, because I sent him the same message I sent Stone Cold. Now, like I told you, it was a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a big Facebook guy, and obviously I put him on Facebook just, I'm a big wrestling fan. I watched him in TNA and watched him in Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
So I've kept up with him. He's actually a tag team champion right now with Chavo Guerrero for the second time.
It's badass. Chavo's a legend too.
So
man.
Maybe that'd be pretty cool if Chavo sneaks up on me and
that would be crazy, man.
I'd probably freak out, but
yeah.
I'm hoping I'm not gonna freeze up. But the guy seems like he's pretty down to earth, so I mean,
we already talked about drinking a couple beers, so.
Oh yeah, so I might drink a couple beers on the way up there.
So it'll be like I never left.
Yeah,
you'll be drinking some beer anyway.
So, but we actually have the interview April 17th.
Awesome.
Tune in next week to Showtime's Sports Podcast.